If you are looking to create wealth in 2025, I'm gonna show you the best possible method. My name is Tabare and I'm one of the youngest and most successful Airbnb hosts in the entire world. I have over 270 properties on Airbnb and my business partner and I have generated over $10 million on the Airbnb platform. Over the last couple of years, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on the Airbnb platform just to go ahead and test and to find out one question. What is the fastest way to generate $10,000 a month or more without having to buy a fancy home or any home at all for that matter? And how to do it without any experience. After a 24-month journey working with hundreds of students across the world, I found it. And now my students are crushing it. Just in 2024 alone, my students have gotten over 54 properties on the Airbnb platform. I have helped hundreds of students quit their job and some even retire. All of them working about 10 hours a week or less with a method called the Art of the Deal. Not like the book, The Art of the Deal, but my own Art of the Deal method where I show you how a 23-year-old kid could go ahead and get over 270 properties on Airbnb using effective communication and negotiation strategy tailored for Airbnb. The best way for me to explain this to you is to show it to you and compare it to traditional real estate investing. Now, when most people think about traditional real estate investing, they think about buying some home, putting a tenant in it, and collecting monthly rent checks. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't work, it just takes forever. But again, there's plenty of successful stories out there of people doing just this. And the thing is, all of these success stories take years, if not decades, to achieve. Think about it. The traditional method of real estate investing makes you $100 to $200 per month profit if you get lucky. And a lot of real estate investment deals don't provide any cash flow at all. They break even. And that's if you know what you're doing. I look at traditional investing very much like a 9-to-5. You slave away for 40 years and after that you have just enough money to go ahead and retire. Yes, it can work, but 40 years is a very, very, very long way. Unless you're okay with being 80 years old stepping out of your sports car, if you know what I mean. Those people that, yes, they have a nice ride, but it's a struggle for them to even get in and out of the car. If you're watching this video, it is because you do not want that. We live in 2025. It's easier than ever to make $10,000 a month with Airbnb. Think about all of the resources available. We have B&B Flow, which will literally break down the numbers and tell you if your property is a winner or if it's a loser. We have Flow Funding, where we help you get business funding from the big banks like JP Morgan and Chase, anywhere from $50,000 all the way up to $100,000. And we even have B&B Know-How, where we teach you the exact step-by-step art of the deal method on how to find, close, and negotiate landlords on getting your first Airbnb property. Also, the other problem with traditional real estate investing is that it takes a lot of capital to get started. And in this current market, with the interest rates being so high, what happens if your tenant doesn't pay you rent for 1 month? You're screwed. And once again, I'm not saying that traditional real estate investing doesn't work. It's just not the best place to get started in. You can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a down payment just to cash flow a couple $100s a month. And then you can go ahead and repeat the process, save up a couple $100,000 more, invest it again, make a couple $100 in monthly cash flow. A better way to do this is to start with something that will produce significant cash flow in day one. And that is very, very easy to get into. Requires less than $10,000 and allows you to leverage credit to get into many, many properties. What this means is that you can also enjoy your life along the way. You can quit your job and live life on your terms. You can spend more time with your family, you can retire your spouse or partner, and even retire your parents. Whatever it is that it's important to you, you can do it much, much sooner. I'm talking 30 years sooner than the traditional method. So the question is there a better way? Using the Art of the Deal method, I went from 0 to over 7 figures in less than 12 months. And guys, I'm not special. I started working at multiple fast food restaurants, making minimum wage, cleaning toilets. And then at 17, I moved down to Miami with less than $100 to my name. Found a mentor, and I fell in love with the real estate game. My mentor was Grant Cardone, okay? The real estate tycoon. I was the youngest person he ever hired. He saw something in me, and I started working as an administrative assistant, then worked my way up to an operations manager, and then he put me on the sales team, which was a life-changing moment for me, which is where I discovered one key concept, and that is sales. And what is sales? Well, sales is just effective communication. And if you look around, everything in life is sales. I was making great money. I sold over $11 million over the phone, and I was making $500,000 a year before I can even buy my first drink. Making $500,000 in take-home income before the age of 21 was great, but I was missing missing one key thing. You see, I had financial freedom, but I was lacking the other two freedoms, the time and the location freedom. Meaning, yes, I could buy whatever I wanted, but I had to exchange my time for money, which is what a lot of people are doing right now. Going to work, giving up your time in exchange for a paycheck. I was thinking, there has to be a better way. And that is when I met my now business partner, Gerardo, who taught me the exact blueprint that I'm teaching you today in this video. We became business partners and we grew our portfolio all the way up to 270 properties on Airbnb and still counting because we're getting new properties every single day. The best part is 90% of our portfolio, we don't even own the homes. We do something called Airbnb Arbitrage. Once I figured out how to use other people's properties to make money, my life changed, and it changed very, very fast. The art of the deal method allows us to find profitable properties that are already operating on Airbnb, then find a similar property that's available for rent and then re-rent it. Then we list it on Airbnb, furnish it, and start making money in less than 30 days. In the next minute, I'm gonna show you how the art of the deal method works. But first, let me share with you what results you can expect. By using my art of the deal method, you should be making anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 per month per property that you put on Airbnb. That means that for most people out there, if you just start with 2 properties, you are well on your way to replace your 9-to-5 income. You don't need some huge lump sum to get started. You can start a property with as little as $10,000 and you can start making your first money as little as 30 days from operating. It really does not matter what you're earning now, you can get started. And best of all, you don't need to prove your income with the big banks to get a giant loan to get into this business. As long as your credit is decent, you're gonna be able to get into the property fairly quickly. And if your credit is not amazing, there are still ways to get you in and get you started. With just 4 properties, you'll be making over $100,000 a year. And that can easily happen within the next 6 to 12 months if you put in the work. Just like one of my students, Roxanne, who in less than 6 months was able to quit her sales job and spend more time with her 2 kids. Because she applied the art of the deal strategies and broke $100K in less than 6 months on Airbnb. Genesis and Roberto, they started a property and in less than 30 days, they became a super host on Airbnb. Miguel, who's 21 years old and grew his business to over 9 Airbnb properties and many, many, many more. Now, I'm gonna walk you through the exact process on how to get the art of the deal method to work for you. All right, guys, now to get started and to find the first profitable Airbnb, you're gonna need to go ahead and do something I like to call market research. So I'm gonna go ahead, let's go to my computer and I'm gonna show you guys exactly where to start. So first thing you need to do is you need to go to Zillow.com. Why Zillow.com? Is because you need to find the market that you want to get into. Now guys, very, very key, okay? A lot of people go ahead and they say, oh, I'm gonna start an Airbnb business in my backyard. Guys, imagine an Airbnb business like a gas station. You wouldn't put a gas station where there's not that many cars coming in and out. So you go ahead and find areas that are very popular, right? Find areas that are good for Airbnbs. Now, let's say you live in the middle of nowhere. There's always ways to find profitable Airbnbs, and I'm gonna show you how. So let's say you go ahead and you wanna get into Airbnbs in Kissimmee, Florida, okay? Literally 7 minutes away from Disneyland. Perfect location. Now, what would you do is you would go ahead, you would go into Airbnb first, and you're gonna type in Kissimmee, Florida, okay? Because you wanna look at the comparables, okay? So you're gonna go from here to here, good. And let's see. So you can see, funny enough, right here, we got some properties already. And this one is ours right here in the very top. These 2 are ours. So look at that. Right, guys, one thing, okay, why we're doing this, because you want to see what the competition is doing, okay? So you want to go in here, like, look at this property. This is beautiful. Look at this movie theater. Amazing property. Now, first things first, guys, is you want to see where the properties are located in Kissimmee. So you can see in this map right here, you can see Kissimmee's right here, and you can see what they're going for on an average daily rent. Now, why is this important? Because you want to go ahead and you want to find homes around that specific area. So what I can see here is that in Kissimmee, right, there's some properties here, right, but a lot of the properties are in this side, okay? So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to Zillow and I'm gonna find properties that are in that side of the neck of the woods, all right? So let me go in here, I'm gonna type enter. And now, here's the very important. When you go here, you want to toggle this and you only want to look for rent. You don't want to look for sale. And then you want to find comparables. So you already saw the properties on Airbnb. You want to find properties that look similar to what you saw on Airbnb. That's very, very important, guys. So if you go, for example, back into Zillow, you're gonna see, okay, guys, another pro hack, don't find properties that you wouldn't stay in yourself. If you wanna go ahead and get into Airbnb, find a property that you would be down to stay in. For example, check this one out, 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, $2,900. It looks beautiful, right? Let's take a look at it, okay. Once you find a property that you're like, hey, this looks similar to the properties that I saw, I have a great vision, I know what I can do with this, here's how you run numbers, guys. Very, very simple. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You need 3 different softwares. Number 1, Zillow.com. Number 2, AirDNA. And number 3, BNB Flow. It's that easy, guys. You're gonna copy and paste the address and you're gonna paste it into AirDNA. So you're gonna go to airdna.co and you're gonna go ahead and paste the address here, okay? Why are you gonna do this, right? You wanna access the revenue calculator, okay? It's called the rentalizer tool. Why? Because this rentalizer tool is going to tell you on average, right, what is this property, what's the occupancy rate, and also what's the average daily rate. These are the 2 numbers that you need, okay? So remember, you go on Airbnb first, you look at the market, then you go ahead and you go to Zillow, you find a property that you think would be a good Airbnb. Then you can't just rely on intuition, guys. You have to go ahead and run the numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So after that, you're going to go into AirDNA, find 2 numbers, occupancy and average daily rates. Once you have these 2 numbers right here, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to BNB Flow and you're gonna log in, okay? Once you log in, you're gonna go to the Students tab and you're gonna go to the BNB calculator and you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna paste the address here. You're gonna put the correct bed and bath count. I believe this one was 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. You're gonna put 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. Does it have a pool? Let's see, I don't think this one has a pool. No, it does not. Okay, so this one does not have a pool and it is a house. See annual revenue. Once you click on this information right here, don't rely on that 100% because that's the information from Zillow. Obviously, a lot of things change. So what you want to do to make sure that you're 100%, you want to go ahead and you want to run the numbers. Why do you want to run the numbers? Because, like I said, you always want to have data to back up your investment. Very important. So here, for example, let's say first and last month, how much do they want? They want $2,900, okay? So let's do this. Okay, guys, so for this right here, let's say the security deposit, you're able to negotiate it with the actual art of the deal method. You're able to negotiate it down to $1,000. Then you're gonna plug in first and last month's rent. It's $5,800 because the rent is $2,900. So 2,900 times 2, there you go. Application fees, it's gonna be on average, let's say $150. Furnishing costs, let's say $10,000, okay? Because why, right? It's 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, so it's pretty big. Now, guys, with the art of the deal method, you can negotiate anything. You can negotiate how much you're paying in monthly rent. I teach my students to always negotiate that down. You can negotiate so many things. I've gotten into properties for literally $0. I've gotten into some properties for $1,000. It's insane. Okay, that's why the art of the deal method is so valuable, and we're gonna touch on that a little bit later on. So once you do this, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna put the monthly rent there, $2,900, utilities, do a little estimate, right? If you wanna go ahead and lock down the for sure numbers, you would have to call the landlord and ask him for the actual numbers. But this is just before you go ahead and call the landlord. Okay, so 150, Wi-Fi and cable 100, repairs nothing, parking nothing, good to go. Now here's the important, you're gonna go and where it says enter your data and check your revenue, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna type in the nightly rate from AirDNA, and that is 151. So we're gonna type in 151 here, and then the occupancy is 56%. So we're gonna toggle this switch until this number gets to 56%. All right, so let's see, 56%. Now guys, here's the beauty of this, okay? Now all the work is done, okay? Before, back in the old days, I had to go ahead and get a pen and paper and underwrite a deal one by one. Now we created a beautiful software that you can just go in, a couple clicks, and you're good to go. It's amazing. So now here in the bottom, you can see, okay, is this property a profitable property or not profitable property? This property right here, based on the numbers, okay, that we did literally in 2 minutes, it's gonna tell you that you're gonna lose $707. Imagine that, because we originally saw this property and we were like, oh my God, this would be amazing for Airbnb. We ran the numbers and we saved a lot of money. We saved a lot of mistakes because this would have not been a good investment. So guys, that's the name of the game. You want to go ahead and imagine yourself like a caveman digging for gold. Once you find that golden property, then you're good to go. That's why I always tell my students, 60% of this business is your ability to persevere and not give up, right? If you just find that property, it'll be amazing. Let's take this same property and let's just work on the numbers. So let's say the nightly rate was let's say 80, okay? With it being 280, now the numbers are different. So now you're making 1.4 thousand a month, right? That's it, guys. It's all about finding the right property. Now, another thing that I want to go ahead and share with you, okay, is that it's very, very important to not just rely on Zillow, but rely on other people. We have a team of real estate agents that are always throwing us properties. And that's exactly what we teach our one-to-one mentorship students, how to build an army of agents. That way they think of you as the Airbnb guy, as the Airbnb gal, as the Airbnb expert, okay? So keep that in mind when you're doing market research. So guys, once you've identified the property and the numbers make sense, now it's time to call the landlord. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to talk to them. They might give me an objection. Guys, it's very, very simple. All you have to do is follow the art of the deal method. I'm gonna show you exactly what that is right now. You are gonna explain to the landlord that you wanna go ahead and sign a corporate lease and you wanna sublease their property. Now, what does a corporate lease mean? That basically means that you're signing a lease through your business, not through your actual personal. And that's gonna be very important because that's gonna allow you to get business funding. Now, guys, I know this might sound confusing, okay? Don't worry. Below this video, you can click a free strategy call. Think of it like a roadmap call where you can talk to one of my team members and ask any question that you want, okay? Very, very important. So let me explain a little bit more about what I mean by actually subleasing the property. You would reach out to the landlord and you would make sure that with the landlord's permission, you're allowed to sublease. What does a sublease agreement look like? Guys, it's a simple one-page agreement. They would have to sign it and then you're good to go. You're in the clear, okay? Because if you don't get their permission to go ahead and sublease their unit, well, now you're doing this business, but you're doing it the illegal way. And you do not want to do that, guys. You guys want to do this business the ethical way, okay? Very important. Now, if you get a yes or if you get a no, it's due to this right here, which is the art of the deal method, okay? Think of it like 3 C's, okay? Number 1 is you need conviction. Guys, if I had no conviction when I was talking to you, you guys wouldn't believe anything that I'm saying. So it's the same thing when you're talking to a landlord. If you don't know what you're talking about, if you're lacking the information, lacking the knowledge, guess what? That's going to show, and the landlord's not going to trust you to go ahead and take care of their property. That's number 1. So you got to make sure your conviction is through the roof. Conviction is the make-break point. Very important. Now, the second rule in art of the deal method is confidence. Guys, you need to be confident. And how do you get confidence? Confidence comes from competence. So you need to be competent. It goes back with what I was saying in number 1. You need to understand this material. You need to learn this material like the back of your hand. Very, very important, guys. Now, the third and the final one is clarity. Guys, when I was younger, I used to have a speech impediment, okay? I couldn't talk to anyone. I would literally stutter left and right. Now, you guys might talk to me and you guys say, oh, wow, this guy's a great talker. Guys, I wasn't born a great talker. I was born a baby, just like all of you guys were. So I'm gonna teach you guys a strategy that will help you speak more clearly when you're talking to people. Maybe you're talking to people one-on-one or in a group, or if you're like me, you're talking to people in front of a stage, okay? So check this out. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a number 2 pencil and you're gonna put it and you're gonna bite down on it. And then you're gonna go ahead and try to pronunciate words. Why are you gonna do this? This is gonna help you speak from your stomach, and it's also gonna help you speak more clearly. Guys, I promise you, you're gonna feel silly doing this, but if you do this consistently, your speech, it's gonna be like this. It's that night and day difference in your speech is gonna go from here to here, okay? And what is that gonna do for you? It's gonna allow you to close more deals, convince more landlords, and get more money, and you actually have that generational wealth that you wanna have. Very important. So guys, if you do those 3 C's, the art of the deal method with those 3 C's, confidence, clarity, conviction, now the landlord's gonna say yes, and guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna furnish the property, take amazing pictures, and you're gonna list it on Airbnb. Once you list it on Airbnb, all you have to do is see and watch the reservations come in. That's the beautiful part about this Airbnb business, is the cash flow. Now, you might be wondering, why would a landlord say yes to allowing you to put the property on Airbnb? Well, guys, you guys have to understand that landlords want one thing, and that is passive income, okay? They wanna go ahead and they just wanna rent it out to a tenant that's gonna take care of their property and pay them on time. Guess what? Landlords don't wanna deal with the headache of managing an Airbnb business, managing the chat, managing the cleaning, coordinating with maintenance, doing all the things that goes around building an Airbnb business. They don't wanna do that. So that's very, very important. And that's where you are gonna go ahead and step in and take over that and make all the difference, make the spread. That's very important, guys. Guys, the second reason, right, landlords aren't doing it is because they simply don't know how to. You've been blessed that you now have this video, you guys have a little bit of the formula. Guys, I'm giving you guys literally like 10%. The other 90% is gonna be done once you book that one-on-one call with someone from my team. They'll explain you the entire business. They'll explain you the entire roadmap. That's why it's called the Airbnb roadmap call. Now, you have to understand, it's very, very important that you go ahead and use all of these principles that I'm teaching you and apply it to get your first property. Now, what I have done with my one-on-one mentorship program is that I have broken it down into 5 simple steps to help you get to that 10K per month. Now, what do these steps look like? Number 1, mindset and basics. People don't have business problems. They have personal problems that manifest into their business. If I wanted to take the year off, okay, and just travel the world, and I gave you all of my properties, all of my bank accounts, all of my employees, all of my team members, everything, right? Would you be able to handle it? Of course not, because you don't have the mentality of an entrepreneur. You don't have the mentality of a 7-figure Airbnb host. Very, very important, guys. So we're gonna focus in for the first week, just crushing the limiting beliefs and fixing the mentality. That way you can be successful. Very important. The second thing, guys, is understanding the business, okay? I live in beautiful Miami, Florida. I live in the 45th floor of my building. If my building had bad foundation, we would not be able to build more and more floors on top of it. Same thing with your business. If your business is built with unstable structure, guess what's gonna happen? You'll never be able to grow. So we focus a whole week on setting up your business the right way and also helping you acquire business funding, anywhere from 50 grand to 100 grand. Now, after that, we focus on stage 3, which stage 3 is sales and negotiations. So it's your ability to communicate effectively to the landlord so you can go ahead and negotiate the rent so you can make maximum profits. That's gonna determine your success. So we focus an entire week. Everything that I've learned in the last 7 years of selling over $11 million on the phone, I try to teach it to my students in about 1 week. Very, a lot of information, jam-packed. One of my favorite things to teach about, by the way. Stage 4, okay, that is gonna be the operations and systems. Think of the mechanisms, right? How do you manage the pricings? How do you manage the listings? How do you deal with insurance? How do you go ahead and deal with problem guests? How do you communicate? How do you set up automations? Anything you can possibly imagine when it comes to the systems and the operations and the know-how. That's what we call it, B&B know-how, the know-how on how to run this business. And then stage 5 is the scaling. The last thing you wanna do is give yourself another job, right? You don't wanna work in the business. You wanna be able to step away and work on the business. So we're gonna teach you how to scale, how to automate, how to delegate, how to eliminate, and how to grow your portfolio, not just from 1 or 2 properties, but how do you get 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200 properties? That's the name of the game. Now, guys, I am offering to work with you directly, one-on-one, right? My team working with you directly, so for the next 12 months, so we can actually help you become successful just like we did. All of our systems, all of our procedures are gonna be taught to you. All you have to do is implement it. We're going to work with you until you get to 10K per month. All you have to do is work hard and put in the work and become successful. Right now, I wanna take a moment and just think about it. What would your life look like if you could make an extra 10K a month with working anywhere from 5 to 10 hours per week? Like, really think about it. What would your life look like? Great, now that you've done that, here's an exact path, an exact timeline on how long it's gonna take you to get your first property. Week 1, mindset and basics. Week 2, understanding the actual setting up the business, the right structure, okay? That way you can build on top of it and grow and scale. Week 3, sales and negotiations. Week 4, operations and systems. And week 5, scaling and actually growing the portfolio. It's that simple, guys, 5 weeks. Now, this is just a rough outline. I've had some students like Jay who told me, hey, I'm gonna be your best success story and I'm gonna get a property in the next 2 days. And guess what? He got it in the next 2 days, okay? Now, those results are not typical, but on average, it's gonna take anywhere from 5 to, let's say, 6, 7 weeks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna work with you until you find that property, and we're gonna hold your hand every step of the way until you actually set up the listing, you know how to manage it, and you're off to the races and you don't need our help no more. And what we can also do is once you understand the business and once you understand the knowledge, I have a lot of my students that now are business partners, right? I love doing business with my students. My team and I will work with you one-on-one on whatever schedule you have to help you ensure you reach your goals. Whatever your goals are, whether it's just making 10K a month or scaling this business to the moon, my team and I are ready to help you succeed. Now, as a bonus, only for this month, I am offering something special. And genuinely, there's only limited spaces available, so I cannot offer this to everyone. I am going to guarantee that you're gonna make $10,000 a month in the next 12 months, or I am gonna continue working with you for free until you do so. To make sure that you achieve this, I will be giving you weekly coaching calls and 24/7 support. As long as you take action and you put in the work and you're coachable, this is a no-brainer for you. So if working with me sounds even just a little bit interesting to you, I recommend that you schedule a call with me or my team right now, because there's so much to go over. I can't cover everything in this short video. My team and I, we do things differently here. On the actual call, we want you to understand every single step that is required for you to actually generate $10,000 a month on Airbnb. After the call, once you understand everything, and if you want our help to help you implement the strategies, then great. And if you don't want our help, then no worries. You can still walk away with the knowledge on what you need to do to build your Airbnb portfolio. So no matter what, guys, it's a win-win situation. There is no risk at all for you to go ahead and book the call down below. The only risk here is if you sit there and do nothing with this information. If you do nothing, this year is gonna be just like the last year. It's going to be the same as next year. You're going to be slaving away at your job when you know that lifestyle isn't for you. You know you're not happy with that lifestyle. You know you want more. You know you're meant for more. So if you're on the fence on booking a call with my team down below, I highly encourage you to do so. Guys, book the call. Do not overthink it. You need to go ahead and show up. When you show up to the Zoom call, okay, you're gonna be getting a text and a phone call from my team to confirm your appointment. Make sure you confirm the appointment or else it will be canceled. Also, make sure we have your full undivided attention. We do not want you to attend this call when you're driving, okay? So make sure you block in a time that works best for you, where we have your full undivided attention for 20 to 25 minutes in front of a computer via Zoom, so we can actually show you exactly how this business works. If you can't commit 25 minutes out of your day to go ahead and actually commit to your success, guys, this business probably isn't for you. All right, so guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching this video. I can't wait to see you on the other side. Remember, everything you want in life is in the other side of fear. Book the call below. See you soon. Can't wait to get to know you and get to actually work with you and help you be a small part in your Airbnb success.